Am I live? We are live. What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning. Still an early day today, so wow, I guess we can't really judge how today is going yet. But like I said, hope you guys are having a fantastic morning right now, and you got your coffee. And I have a special surprise today. I got some Dunkin' Donuts today. I told you guys I wasn't going to get Dunkin' Donuts because they denied my sponsorship. I'm still a little salty about them denying my sponsorship, but I decided to switch it up today. Why? Because I kind of wanted a breakfast sandwich from there. So back on the Dunkin's grind. Let's friggin' go. No Speedway today. Sorry, Speedway. I had to take a day off from you. But all right, let's see what Bitcoin's doing on the chart. So 38,500. So we're, I guess, lower than we were last night, right? Last night we were up here in this general area, kind of deciding on what we wanted to do, right? So last night we got a little bit of a pump to the upside to about, we actually got almost up to about 40K, and then we kind of had a little bit of a fake out. Now, we're going to get into this falling wedge, which you could draw two specific ways, right? So we'll have a conservative way, and we'll have a way that kind of makes more sense based on multiple touch points, right? But, you know, obviously last night, it looks like we did get a little bit of a dip. And if we actually have this up a little bit, it looks like we came back down and actually got two wicks right to the bottom of the wedge again. So this bottom trend line is playing out absolutely perfectly for BTC here. Two perfect touches on the bottom of this wedge. So nice buy pressure that came in here. You could see a lot of sell volume actually came in on that hourly candle, but Bitcoin did not care at all. Bitcoin, as we know, when it wants to do it, says nope, and just absolutely ate the crap out of that sell pressure right there, and wicked right back up to the middle of the wedge. So all is good up to this point. Now we're going to take a look at what could necessarily happen next, what pattern that we're kind of in on the shorter term time frames here, and kind of go from there. What's up, Christian? What's up, Mr. Pokey? Switch to ADA and put your helmet on. We're gonna go look at ADA in just a second. We're gonna look at obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. We'll look at Chainlink. We'll look at a bunch of altcoins in today's stream as we kind of get through Bitcoin here. But all right, the top side of this wedge, you could draw this in two different ways. So this is the more conservative way, right? So taking it from the three outermost touch points, including that kind of fake out wick that we had to the upside there. So that's kind of including that one. What's up, Hannaboo? Hannaboo just became a member. Shout out to Hannaboo. Not sure if I'm saying your name right, my man. Hannaboo 2. Not very good at saying names. I'm good at remembering names, but not saying it. But shout out to you, my man. Glad to have you to the fam. But yeah, so this is the kind of the sort of conservative way to take it, right? So from the three outermost touches of the wedge, and that's including yesterday's kind of fake out touch. Now, what would be the most way to like get the most touch points on the wedge? You know, is something more along the lines of this, where if we actually drew it like this, we actually would be necessarily actually right at that resistance point coming up here, right? You can see if we adjust it like that would take into account this touch point, this touch point, this touch point, and this touch point. Obviously, we had one big fake out up to the upside there on the wedge. So you could draw it in two different ways. I guess we'll keep it like this right now and see what happens. But obviously, just because we break this, we still got to break this trend line too. But we'll keep it like this just for the stream's sake. But do keep in mind we have two possible ways that we could draw this wedge. Now, what's our targets if, you know, whether we break to the upside or downside for the wedge? So we're going to go over our targets, and then we're going to go over some of the indicators that might give us a clue on which way we maybe break for this wedge. So our upwards target of this wedge, technically speaking, as the Bank of Canada would say, all right, as our friend would say, technically speaking, you know, our breakout target is all the way up here at about 42,454. So you guys know originally I was looking at the wedge just from this start point, and the breakout target was up here. But you can actually extend this wedge all the way up here, and it still makes perfect sense as far as the touch points go, right? So breakout target would be all the way back up there at 42,454 at our touch point on the top of the wedge. Now, our downside target, right? We talked about a little bit about this yesterday. If Bitcoin decides to break down from this wedge, I'm seeing a move all the way back down to about 36,400 or so, right? And that's kind of our last touch point that we had there. And also our breakdown target of our bigger wedge, rising wedge, that we actually already broke to the downside, okay? And that also is a level of our previous local high back here from the end of June, right? June 29th. So a lot of confluence at that, you know, $36,400 level. And another reason why I think that that is likely if we do break down from this wedge, okay? What's interesting, and I could see Bitcoin being an absolute troll here, because you know Bitcoin likes to be a troll. If we actually extend this wedge out, the apex of this wedge is actually like literally almost right at, adjust this slightly there. There we go. Apex of this wedge is literally almost exactly at 36,400. So if Bitcoin wants to be a troll, it could just do this, come back down and boom, and then bounce from there. If Bitcoin really wants to be a troll. I don't know if Bitcoin that much of a troll, but we know Bitcoin does what it wants to do. And to piss off everyone, we could just slowly but surely move back down in this wedge and then bounce from 36,400. That's also a possibility too. We can definitely can't rule that out there. I think an acorn just hit my window. Squirrel, you throwing acorns at my window, bro? You throwing acorns at my window, bro? No? All right, cool. All right, so we'll see what Bitcoin does here. Excuse me. Out of this short-term falling wedge, which is typically a bullish pattern for that. That sounds about right. Absolutely. All right, so let's go on to the 4-hour chart. What are we looking at the 4-hour? So on the 4-hour, right? I mean, it more so comes down to us breaking down from this bigger rising wedge, which is typically bearish, right? And we know our breakout target for that was down here at about 36,400. We just talked about how that level's key. So, you know, in reality, it would make sense if we came back down here and touched this level. I'm still not ruling out a little bit lower, guys. 36,400 has been a level I've been talking about for the last couple of days. If Bitcoin was to get a pullback, that's what would make the most sense. And it makes the most sense on the 4-hour time frame chart as well. Let's take our Fibonacci tool and see what we got. Let's take our bottom to our top and see if that gives us any clues here. So there's nothing really at that level, which is interesting. Actually, our golden pocket is all the way down here at 34,270, which doesn't really make too much sense in my opinion. And usually what I'll say about the Fibonacci is when it doesn't really make sense for like support and resistance levels, for me at least, I think that shows that it might not have been the top of this move, right? So we might not have reached the full potential of this move yet, especially when you look at the Fibonacci's and the trend lines don't really make sense. If the trend lines make sense, probably means that you reached a semi top or bottom from the move, right? But so far, it doesn't really seem that way to me. So our golden pocket being right here doesn't really fit the narrative. And the 0.5 Fibonacci is also a level, right? 35,800. We do have some peaks relatively at that level, but at the same time, it is what it is. Is someone mowing their lawn? Ken, why are you mowing your lawn right now, bro? Bro, Ken's gonna mow his lawn at 10 o'clock in the morning when I'm trying to stream. He could have done it at any point throughout the day. He has to do it right now. It's freaking ridiculous. What's up, Elliot? He said, hey, Jordan, I'm listening to you at work. Shout out to you, man. That's some true dedication to the Bitcoin charts. Like I said in the Discord today, I mean, we are all crypto addicts, man. Anyone that's here right now is a crypto addict, okay? Because a lot of you guys, I see that you are also in the nightly stream too, which is awesome. Quadratic said, stupid YouTube waited 8 minutes to notify me about the stream. Hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, we gotta live and we gotta learn what YouTube does to us at this point, dude. What's up, Algo? All right. So also on the 4-hour time frame, man, you see what's going on here. So we were talking about the bullish divergence for Bitcoin on the 4-hour and the MACD. Unfortunately, doesn't seem like it played out. So we broke below that previous low. So that bullish divergence didn't play out. So you're getting lower lows on the RSI and the MACD, and you're getting low and lowers on price action. So we can throw away that bullish divergence for now. What is nice though, and what I will say about the 4-hour is we have cooled off our RSI pretty nicely here. So if we want to have another nice move to the upside, we now have plenty of room. We're also getting decently low on this. We could go a little bit lower, and I think that $36,000 area would be a perfect level to come back to, for that to be oversold, and for us to get a bounce, right? So the only reason why I think 36,000 makes a lot of sense if we do break down. MACD, right? So the indicators on the 4-hour look really good, right? Stock RSI has been bottomed out for a while here, about 2 days, and is looking to move back up on the 4-hour. MACD looking to build some positive momentum here, but obviously we need to start getting some green candles to fully flip that back around. But 4-hour indicators look pretty damn good to me. They look pretty damn good. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, this breakdown doesn't look great as of right now, but we got some bullish signs coming on here. We'll see what happens with this wedge. Daily, right? What I want to do on the daily, and we talked about a little bit on stream yesterday, is we know we have the downwards trend of resistance. That's been kind of the pain in the butt for Bitcoin when we're up here at like 42,500, right? Happy to have you streaming when Mariners aren't playing. Oh, we got some baseball fans in here. I'm not a huge baseball fan. Like, I used to be a huge baseball fan. The sport to me is just not the same as it used to be back in like, the mid 2000s. During the Manny Ramirez, Pedro Martinez, Red Sox days. It's just not the same to me. I don't know. But the 200 exponential moving average is the level I do want to hold today. So we know we got rejected on it back here. It was our resistance. Right, and we're coming back down to it right now. We're actually almost exactly on it right now. So right now we're below it on the daily. I want to close above it. So right now that's at 38,600. It's about $140 ahead of us, right? So, even if even though we wicked below it today, as long as we close above it, I will be extremely happy. Okay, I mean, like I said, we're only about $100 below it. So that doesn't seem out of the question that we close above this 200 exponential. If we close below it, all right, it could just be another sign that a bigger pullback is coming, right? Because, another thing we'll look at is our weekly our weekly 50 SMA or 100 SMA. We have broke down below it. Actually, the 20 to the 10. Hold on. It's early right now. It's friggin' early, dude. Yeah, so our man, struggling right now. So our 100-day SMA. Too many numbers for me. Our 100-day SMA, we've already broken back below that. So I didn't want to do that, right? But at the end of the day, I guess we can look for this 100 EMA to keep us back over our 200 EMA. So if we close below it, I think that's just another signal that 36,400 could be going here back to test our previous local high there. But at the end of the day, we got to wait to see what end of the day is going to happen. We will most likely close above. I agree. I think we're going to break this wedge to the upside. That's just my opinion. These wedges have been playing out pretty damn nicely for Bitcoin over the course of the last couple weeks, right? I mean, these wedges have been playing perfectly. So we shall see, my friends. We shall see. And the buy pressure is there. I mean, the buy pressure is there. We got a big sell-off, like we said there, and it just get bought up for BTC. So we'll see what happens. I mean, overall, at the end of the day, we know the general structure that we're in for Bitcoin right now. It's basically, this red box of resistance and this green box of support. Which one will we break first? Nothing's changed just yet. We've came back up to test the red box. Will we break it, right? And then that's the exciting part of crypto right now is we don't know. So, I mean, we got a lot of resistance points here. This downwards trending resistance, I think, is the biggest one for BTC, which we have broken in the past. Like we've talked about this before. We have broken these downward resistances in the past for the bear markets, right? You can see this one right here. We actually broke above this downwards trend resistance here. You can actually draw it like, yeah, I mean, it makes more sense of this. We broke the downward trend of resistance there. We pumped back up to the upside, but we had to test it, right? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times in order to get back over it. Same thing in 2017. We had downwards trend of resistance. Here, it took us once, twice, 3 tests to get back over it. We got back over it, right? We got back over it. We came back down. So, you know, I think that's the level to watch. I mean, it does usually take a couple times for us to break it. Right now, this is the 3rd touch, right? So 2017, it took us 4 touches to break this. Not going to say it's necessarily going to take us 4 touches this time, but nonetheless, always a possibility that we get rejected here and come back a little bit lower and try to break it again on the 4th try, right? So we shall see. Nothing goes up in a straight line, by the way, guys. Like we talked about yesterday, nothing goes up like this. Okay, nothing goes up like this. Everything kind of has its ebbs and flows, right? Pull up, pull back to 36, try it again. You know, if we break it, we go up, come back down, test it, right? We go up, test that support, right? Maybe we do something like this. Oh, double bottom up, then we come up. There's always ebbs and flows in the market. It's not just straight up the upside too. So always remember that. I mean, the chat yesterday was a little bit more bearish than I would have expected, considering that we're at 38,500. Considering that, you know, just from, you know, whatever it was, 12 days ago, we're still up almost 30% in the last 12 days. The chat was more bearish than I expected it to be, honestly. Let's quickly go back over to the weekly chart, though. Weekly chart. What I want to close this weekly is above our previous weekly close highs. So that was right about here, 39,000. So it's right about 39,000. I want BTC to close back above because I want to flip this previous weekly close resistance and flip it as support. So right now we are at 38,500. So we're only $500 below that level too. So it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility that we can't close back above that as well. Considering we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we got 5 days to get back over that. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Doesn't seem pretty unreasonable. But same thing we talked about, you know, if we close below this, you know, just based off support and resistance on the weekly, it's looking like, I mean, a retest, everything's kind of pointing at $36,000 level, somewhere in that $36,000 range, where we had these previous weekly highs, right about there. It's about 35,800 on the weekly, but still right around 36,000. Everything's kind of pointing to that general level. So we'll see what happens. If we close below that, I could see a retest and a bounce. Same thing as what we talked about on the daily, 4 hour, all that fun stuff, right? We were testing 34, 36K soon. Definitely could be possible. That's what we're talking about in the stream, man. But that's really Bitcoin. That's really Bitcoin. I mean, we'll see what happens with this wedge, guys. I think, you know, just like we were in an uptrend coming into this rising wedge, and we broke down and have gotten a rejection and a pullback since then, right? Same thing. We've kind of gotten a pullback in a falling wedge. We could just as easily continue back up to the upside here if we do break this to the upside. So let's not get too bearish just yet, but always stay cautiously optimistic. All right, be cautionary. It's always possible we could go lower, but as of right now, I don't think, you know, we should be panicking as of just yet. Okay, and I don't think anyone should ever be panicking, because you should always have a long-term mindset with crypto. So it should never be a panic, right? Because the most common saying, which I don't necessarily agree with, but you don't lose anything until you sell it. I don't necessarily agree with that statement, but when it comes to crypto, it's kind of true, because if you're going to panic and you're going to panic sell your crypto as per se, then you are taking a loss. You are accepting the loss. But when you have a long-term mindset, that really doesn't matter, man. I mean, these daily price swings, right? What the price is today versus what the price is tomorrow versus what the price is next week. Does it really matter at the end of the day? Not really, right? What really matters is what's the Bitcoin price going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now, because that's when you get the life-changing money coming in, right? It's not always so much about what happens in 30 minutes, what happens in 5 minutes. I think people have a huge sort of short-term mindset when it comes to crypto, which I understand. Everyone wants to get rich quick. I mean, it is what it is. What's up, George? Where's the bounce? Not seen it just yet. I think it's going to come here. We're right at resistance of this falling wedge, which, you know, kind of how I just went on a rant about. I guess in reality, this doesn't really matter whether we break to the upside or downside out of this wedge, right? But, you know, if we are looking at the shorter term time frames, I am expecting a break of this wedge to the upside. We'll see where we go when we do break it, but that's what I'm expecting, George. That's what I'm expecting. Where's the bounce? But that's my rant alert for this morning. That's my rant alert.
Rant alert.
All right, let's do a rant poll. Rant poll. Rant poll rating. All right, 1, the worst rant you ever heard. It wasn't the most enthusiastic rant because it's still the morning. So, I mean, I'm not going to be too enthusiastic. But 1 is the worst rant you ever heard. 4 is the best rant you ever heard. 2 is below average. 3 is above average. All right. I wish I could have more options for the poll, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. John said, oh, it matters. It matters. And then we'll go over Ethereum in just a second. Hope everyone has their coffee, by the way. I'm still salty at Dunkin's, but I did get a Dunkin' coffee today. But I'm still salty at Dunkin' for rejecting my sponsorship. No non-crypto company wants to sponsor any crypto streams. It's crazy. It's crazy. Jen, I got my Dunkin' right here. No, but we'll quickly go over to Ethereum while you guys rate my rant. You got it looks like weak rant today, about 33% rant today. Morning rants are held to a lower standard. Facts. They're not as enthusiastic. All right, let's go over ETH because I think a lot of people are really excited about Ethereum right now. I'm actually seeing in general more people talking about Ethereum as far as maybe people in the Discord, people in my streams, and people in other streams too, being more excited about Ethereum than Bitcoin right now. I mean, it makes sense. You got EIP coming up here, and Ethereum has been an absolute tear, right? If we just go to the daily chart, I mean, Ethereum has had on the daily, at least on the one I'm looking at here on Binance, has had. White Claw rejected me. Rough morning, George. Yeah, I get that feeling. I got that for me. I actually didn't do anything last night. I'm just kind of waking up here. I used to be a huge morning person. Now all of a sudden, I guess I'm more of a night person. I don't know. Kind of weird. But anyways, you look here for Ethereum, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 green days in a row. And this is kind of the joke that we were talking about yesterday, how everyone's bearish all of a sudden, yet we see in altcoins, like we looked at the total market cap, total 2 market cap. We had like, I think on the total 2 market cap, we also had 13 green days in a row. And people are super bearish right now, which really doesn't make any sense. Today might be the first red day we see for Ethereum in 2 weeks, right? So it doesn't make any sense to be bearish right now. And this could just be a bullish back test too. So if you look at this from a daily perspective, I mean, obviously Ethereum has been going crazy. I mean, we've seen, from wick to wick, we've seen 57% move in the last 2 weeks for ETH, which is freaking awesome. Now, what we could be seeing on the daily here, like I said, is obviously we had these previous highs. And this could just be a back test of those previous highs before we bounce and come up. Because as we know, most things don't go up in a straight line, right? So a back test of those levels, just like we've been talking about with Bitcoin coming back down to back test 36,000 is certainly a possibility. Oh, Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going to test the wedge right now? Here we go. Will Bitcoin break the wedge? We're right at that resistance right now. 38.6. All right, guys, if Bitcoin, I'm rewatching Bitcoin on the left corner of my eye. right? Because I got a little sneaky eye here. But if we do break that wedge, or if we do continue up, I'll be looking at it. Don't worry. So overall, from the daily perspective, ETH looks really good. I mean, the W reversal, like we've been talked about, has been insane. And obviously, we still have our hard target, 29,000. The one level I'm watching, right, is our previous support coming up here for Ethereum. We don't want to flip that into resistance, right? Which we already did. I guess we already did. But we don't want to flip it into resistance twice. So like we said, all these touches here as support, flipping into resistance once. We don't want to come up here and flip it as resistance again, which is interesting is where this next resistance meets up with this red resistance line coming up is actually right at about 29,000 if we kind of continue up in the same trajectory, right? So very, very interesting kind of, I guess, coincidence there for ETH, but ETH still, we know, ETH looks still really good on the daily chart. Real quickly, let's look at our fractal here. For anyone who doesn't know about the fractal for ETH, which has been playing out fantastically, absolutely fantastically. I've been trying to fit it nicely, but it's tough with TradingView because, you know, we all know how TradingView can be sometimes. But the ETH fractal has been playing out like a friggin' beast. All right. If you guys like this fractal, spam the bulls in the chat. And I'm not saying what you think I'm saying. Okay. We're not talking about the salty bulls. As always, spam the bulls in the chat if this fractal looks good to you, because it's been playing out absolutely perfectly. And the fractal would think that we actually come up here, test this resistance, go sideways for a little bit, test it again, go sideways, and then break it. So this actually makes a lot of sense of what I'm expecting here for the market. And actually, like, from support and resistance levels, this actually makes a lot of friggin' sense. You know, so the Ethereum one looks better than the Bitcoin one. The Bitcoin one doesn't really make too much sense. It makes a little bit of a sense. But the bulls. All right. No one likes the fractal in the chat. Ken, stop mowing your lawn, bro. It's too early to mow the lawn. But yeah, that's the ETH fractal. Still looking pretty good there. Ethereum on the 4 hour, not really doing too much right now. It's just kind of chilling like a villain right now. Let's go zoom out a little bit, see what we got going on here. Yeah, hasn't really done much here over the last day, or really the day or two. I mean, it's just been kind of chilling. I don't think it's in any short-term patterns or anything, which, you know, does it really matter when you have extremely bullish news coming for ETH? Not really. Yeah, I mean, you could try to make it into something, but it's really not doing much here as far as a pattern goes. I guess maybe you could say some type of wedge too, kind of like BTC on the shorter term time frame. So that's kind of stretching it out. I mean, this is sort of a stretch here. I guess it kind of makes sense. If you break this up to the upside, it's almost very correlated with BTC being right at its resistance right now. And this being at resistance right now, could be seeing another move upwards to like 2,700 or so if this does break out, I guess. But that's kind of a stretch. Nothing really there on the RSI 4 hour. Do you have any bear? Actually, you have a little bullish divergence on the 4 hour time frame, which is really nice. You can see lower lows, and you can see higher lows. Right? So you do have some bullish divergence on the 4 hour time frame. Let's see if you bounce. And you are getting that bounce, and you actually might be about to make a bullish engulfing 4 hour candle here. I would like to actually close back above this candle too. I like closing above the last two candles on the bullish engulfing. So if you get a bullish engulfing 4 hour with bullish divergence, that could be really, really good. And also bouncing off this general support line that's coming up here. Could be a nice bounce opportunity for Ethereum as we watch that. EMA ribbon, also bouncing right off your EMA ribbon. It's perfect. Overall, we know it's coming for Ethereum. Do we even have to talk about Ethereum's chart? I mean, we know what's coming for Ethereum, guys. We know. What's up, Lunar? What's up, my man? ETH BTC daily chart breakout coming. Oh yeah, I was looking at that yesterday. Actually, I had that up originally yesterday, My computer did an automatic restart, and I had to remake my charts before the stream last night. And yeah, so I didn't have time to fix it. But yeah, I mean, we already broke out, dude. I actually was about to bring this up yesterday. Thank you for reminding me, man. So this upwards resistance, we know we flipped into support twice, which is awesome. And we actually have now, on the ETH Bitcoin ratio chart, have actually broken this downwards resistance as well. So that's extremely bullish for ETH. You can see here, I mean, we were talking about this possible bull flag for a while, right above previous resistance. I mean, you can't get more bullish than that. Now we have bounced, broken out of that downwards resistance for ETH, get a little bit of a pullback today. I think that's going to change, especially if Bitcoin breaks out of this wedge. I can see ETH really, really moving here. You know, we know our measure move target is all the way up here at 11.4 on the ratio, which would put it upwards of the January 2018 levels. So ETH just keeps destroying Bitcoin as far as the ratio goes, and I don't expect that to stop. I don't expect that to stop, especially after this breakout. So awesome stuff right there for ETH. Right, breakout target of this is the flagpole. Extrapolated at the breakout point puts us right. I don't think it's a coincidence. Puts us right where we closed up back here in 2018, right on the daily. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that we're going to see that. And the narrative for ETH flipping Bitcoin as far as market cap gets stronger, in my opinion. So extremely bullish there. Cardano is healthy. Yeah. Definitely could be. Someone say reline the top line. Stand like this. Yeah, you could draw it like this. I mean, the reason I had it like this is because, you know, it could be more of a wedge as well. You could draw it like this too, and you still didn't break out yet. I think you're going to break out though. I think you'll see this breakout, in my opinion, within the next couple days. Because if you really zoom in here on the daily, I mean, what was this like little red candle here? It was just, you just wicked down to test this previous high, and you bounced off of it. So even if you do draw it like this, in my opinion, you're gonna see a breakout within the next couple days. It's almost inevitable here, in my personal opinion. You're not gonna break down from that, in my opinion. Dude, Bitcoin is right there, dude. So we know we talked about this wedge for BTC. We talked about how you could draw it two different ways. You could draw it from the two wicks up top, and this would be your resistance line. And we also talked about how you wanted to get more touch points. You could draw it from this point here. Based off the volume we're getting at that resistance, I'm going to keep it here just because the volume, I was waiting to see if we broke this trend line, if the volume would come in, but you didn't get that volume. So that probably wasn't the correct trend line. So I'm going to keep it like this. I'm going to keep it like this, which looks like Bitcoin is breaking this level here as we speak right now, which is good to see. I'm drinking Dunkin' this morning. No Speedway. I had to switch to Dunkin'. All right, let's check my rant poll reading. So come on, guys. You got to have lower standards for my morning streams, guys. Come on. 36% with a 1 rant rating. Come on, man. 2 with 19%, 3 with 12%, and 4 with 32%. You got to be kidding me, guys. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. I'll take 32%. Not as high as, I think yesterday we had, what, 47% with a 4. I think that was the best rant we've ever had yesterday. What's up, Lupus? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. What is that? Coffee and tea? Is that tea on the right? I don't know what that emoji is. Looks as if the Bears won last night. The Bears won a little bit last night. I mean, I guess if you want to call it a win, I mean, it went down like 3%. So I guess you could say they won. Guess you could say that. People are depressed right now. I wouldn't say that. That might be a little much. I don't know. My evening rants are much more jaded and dark. I like them. I speak. A lot of people are afraid to say what they think. You know what I mean? Because people nowadays are just afraid to get canceled. You know what I mean? And you can't live life that way. It's kind of depressing how that's kind of how humanity's going, where everyone's afraid to speak their opinion, even though we have freedom, right? Everyone's afraid to speak their opinion, so you can't be afraid what you want to say. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm gonna kind of just say it how it is. Like I said, if people don't agree with it, they don't agree with it, dude. Jazz will get me. I don't think Jazz is here this morning. Jazz is sleeping right now. Rod said, "Have a good day, all. Off to earn more cash to dollar cost average." See you, Rod. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for watching. Pass said DXY going up. Let's go check out the DXY. Let's see. DXY. Yeah, DXY is slightly going up here. I don't think it's the end of the world, but definitely is slightly going up. We're going to go check out ADA in a second, guys. ADA's at 135. I made this a little bigger here. If you guys like it, I got rid of Chainlink so I can make Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano prices bigger. I hope you guys, because that was their suggestion from someone in the chat. If you guys can see it a little better, let me know in the chat if that's a little bit better for you. But the DXY there, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's. I still expect this to go lower. This is kind of weak. This is kind of a weak bounce here from the DXY. I still think 91.50 is going to be coming, if not 89.53. We know this is very correlated to what Bitcoin does, but I mean, we know we broke out of a wedge, bearish divergence. I mean, we're talking about this possible dip for a while, and I don't know. It's just looking like it's continuing the trend of just getting rejected from this general trend line level, even if it's not perfect, right? So we shall see. I mean, this would be obviously good for crypto over the course of the next couple weeks if we did come back down to test this level, and I'm expecting it to do so. We'll talk about more about that tonight, but yeah. Let's see. Think of it like this, though. The market is a tug of war that never ends, and the bears are pulling harder for now, but they don't ever actually win. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that yesterday. That was kind of my rant yesterday. I mean, there really is no point of being a bear. I mean, you're kind of just playing against history, price history, because Bitcoin has been on a continuous uptrend for the last 11 years. So being a bear, even if it's just a short-term bear, is still kind of a losing strategy, because like we talked about yesterday, you could get a dip or two, right? But you don't know when the bear market dip is coming or when it's just a regular dip, right? You have no idea. You're kind of just guessing as a bear. If you're a bull, you know the general trend of Bitcoin is up. Now, if the general trend of Bitcoin was down, then obviously you'd probably be, better to be a bear, right? For the majority of time. But trying to guess when the dips are going to happen, when you're trying to guess when the bear market's going to happen, that's just kind of a losing strategy in my opinion. So, that's why everyone has their own strategy. I get it from a certain perspective. I mean, if you're thinking short term, there's no problem being a bear if you're thinking short term. But if you're thinking long term, I mean, it just makes sense to buy a dollar cost average. If you have the patience, I mean, just based off history, you're gonna be up. It's just a matter of time. You just gotta have the patience to sit through the red days, because red days are gonna happen. Red months are gonna happen. Red years are gonna happen. Right? But you just got to have the patience to sit through it. And if you have the patience to sit through it, you'll eventually be, your portfolio will be a lot better than people investing in safer assets, holding for 10, 20 years. In crypto, you hold a portfolio for 4 years, you're probably going to be doing better than these people owning stocks for 10, 20, 30 years. That's just kind of facts. Holy moly. Someone's got a loud Civic. The Honda Civic. Cafe, Jordan's Discord for 24/7 chat. Facts. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, you should see my Twitter link in the stream there. If you guys want to follow that. All right, let's go check out Cardano. A lot of people were asking about Cardano as well. Let's go check that out here. Cardano. Are we following this general trend line? Look at Cardano, man. Cardano finally getting that upwards movement. We were just talking about this general upwards trend, right? It's kind of one of those things. It's not perfect, but what I'd watch here for Cardano is, you know, are you going to get rejected at this $138 level? If you do, it's not the end of the world. I mean, like we've talked about, you've got rejected there twice. If you come up, get rejected again, you could just be forming an ascending triangle that eventually busts up to the upside, right? So, you know, we'll see what happens here. But overall, Cardano looking pretty good today. Finally getting some movement. 129 to 135. Saw approximately about a 5% move, which is pretty good. Pretty good, especially for a day where Bitcoin's kind of struggling. Especially a day for Ethereum's kind of struggling. Definitely good to see Cardano finally getting a move. Let's go in the daily. Daily is the same thing, man. You just got to get back over 138. It's really that simple. Now, I don't have any fresh fractals really for Cardano per se, which kind of makes me sad because I like my fractals. But, you know, generally speaking, it's this red trend line. Same thing as ETH, right? It was your support once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You broke through it, confirmed it as resistance. Can you get back above this red trend line? Whenever you can, I think that's when you're going to start looking super bullish. You're getting back above your daily EMA ribbon today for the first time, right, other than one day since early June, which is also for like 2 months. So you're popping back over it. Can you close above this? I think it's going to be super bullish if you close above this for Cardano. Obviously, we know you're above your major moving averages, 50, 100, 200. This is kind of the last level I'm looking at. Can you get back above that EMA ribbon on a daily close? That's going to be bullish. You break 138, like we talked about in the smaller term time frames, and move up to 148 makes the most sense. You got plenty of room to run in the daily. You're not like Bitcoin. You're not like Ethereum, which are overshot in the daily. Cardano's got room. Just a matter of, can Bitcoin continue the upwards momentum? Can Ethereum continue upwards momentum? You know? The others are looking relatively pricey to people. So ADA looks cheap. Was time for ADA to catch up? Yeah, I mean, that's also a common misconception from a lot of newcomers in crypto, right? They look at the price and they don't look at the market cap, because the price doesn't really matter. It's about the market cap, right? So what they'll do is they'll look at say Uniswap, or they'll look at Cardano, and they're going to say, Cardano's 135. It's going to cost me 21 bucks to buy one Uniswap. I could buy 20 Cardanos for the price of one Uniswap. Why wouldn't I just buy 20 Cardanos, right? So a lot of times what they do, they mistake looking at the price, and they think that's what really matters, when what matters is the market cap, right? But that's definitely true. A lot of newcomers will look at Cardano and they'll buy it just because it's 135, and they won't buy Ethereum because it's 2,000. They won't buy Bitcoin because it's 28,000. It's probably a big reason why you saw Doge bump up, right, when Doge was less than a cent, because a lot of these meme coins, I feel like they make the price so low. They make the price lower than $1, so it looks super cheap to the people that really don't know what they're doing, and so they can get 1 billion Shibas, or they can get 1 billion Dogecoin just because it's in the cents, right? So yeah, just make sure you're always looking at the market cap. You're not looking at the price. I mean, the price doesn't really matter at the end of the day, right? It's going to take, 10, whether you're looking at Chainlink, whether you're looking at Bitcoin Cash, it's going to take $10 billion to 2x Bitcoin Cash, and it's going to take $10 billion to 2x Chainlink. Doesn't matter what the price is. Conservative supply. When Bitcoin is breaking all-time highs, y'all are going to be like, could get those altcoins on the cheap back in August. Yeah, I mean, a lot of altcoins are still super cheap. Still, cheap is all, I guess the way you're looking at cheap. I mean, at the end of the day, all right. Xavier Node, why? All right, I'm getting rid of this dude. Hide user. What are people talking about in the chat? Like, some people really, I don't know what they're up to in their life. But anyways, thanks, Xavier Chainlink, right? I mean, it's all comparative to what you think is cheap, right? So Chainlink got as high as 53 bucks. It's 23 bucks right now. Some people would say, oh, it's not cheap. It only looks cheap because it topped out at 53 bucks, which is facts. I like to compare stuff to where they're from their all-time highs. I think that's the best way. That's really the best way to compare it to. So it's still down 55% from its highs. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of these altcoins are still great buys. And especially Chainlink. I mean, Chainlink, when Chainlink dipped, I mean, it was ridiculously underpriced, man. 75% on Chainlink. I've always said anything under 20 bucks for Chainlink is a great buy. I think Chainlink, just based off support and resistance, I think Chainlink goes up and tests 25.63 here first before pulling back, in my personal opinion. Mods are heroes. This chat does get pretty wild. No, it's the people talking about freaking stuff. The people talking about stuff that we're not supposed to be talking about in the chat. It's like, dude. Welcome to the internet. Facts. What's up, Osvaldo? He said we can go on both your lives because we simply learn a bunch and catch a few laughs here and there. Thank you, Osvaldo. Appreciate the kind words, man. Gregsy said ETH Bitcoin daily chart looking breakout, looking good. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Wes said, brother, what about Sol? Wes, I'm just seeing that now, man. Sorry. But yeah, we can look at Sol. I'm not sure if you're still here or not, but Solana. I still love Solana, man. I mean, the downwards breakout was big from its all-time highs. Dude, I think we had this here yesterday. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, bullish retest. This still looks really good. I mean, this looks like a bullish retest, previous high, flipped into flipped into support. So resistance flipped into support, looks really, really good. You got room to run on the 4-hour RSI if you want to. And also, what I will state is, get rid of that. What I will state is, I'm looking at a possible cup and handle too, if Solana can break out. Let's bring up our EMA. Yeah, love it, man. So you got the cup, the handle on the back test of the EMA ribbon or the EMA 20, whichever one. Pretty sure this is a bounce off the EMA 20. And you're trying to bounce and get back up. Now, obviously, you're getting a little bit of rejection right now. I think it's because Bitcoin is pulling back slightly. Will that last? I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, you break this. I mean, I think you at least retest 43, 44. Now, if you get rejected from here, probably going to come back down and test 32.69. We'll see what happens when you get back down there. A lot of this depends on Bitcoin, right? Most of it depends on Bitcoin. So the altcoins are still in that phase where, generally speaking, they're going to follow Bitcoin. It's not always perfect, but generally speaking. Especially if Bitcoin looks really weak. Chill Money said, when you're asking us which way, I don't see how this is supposed to be helpful. TA is not supposed to be predicting which way you're going in the market. It's projecting your upside target and your downside target, right? You can have the best. I mean, you can look at oscillators. You can look at signals to best try to predict which direction you're going to go. But that's not what technical analysis is, man. You're not trying to predict which way you're going to go. So I always see comments on the internet saying, "Oh, so you're saying you can go up or you can go down?" Well, yeah. I mean, that's what TA is, right? You're waiting for a breakout of a support or a resistance, and you're putting your target, whether it's a long or a short, based on the breakout. You're not saying it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down. That's what TA is, man. Why Luna is flying to the moon? Luna is Luna flying to the moon? Luna? Yeah, Luna's going to the friggin' moon. Let's see. Let's see. Luna just keeps going. So we had the bearish divergence yesterday. We literally had the bearish divergence yesterday, and you know, it was freaking ridiculous. But it just keeps going, man. Just keeps going. I mean, if you're looking at this from this perspective, dude, I think 15, 18, you're gonna hit 15, 18, I think. Just based off the support and resistance levels. Let me actually bring up our fibs from top to bottom. So we smashed through our 0.5 fib like it was butter, right? And then that's our golden pocket, right? The 0.618 and 0.65 is right there. So I think that makes sense for us to go up there and pull it back. Though the one thing I will state is, yeah, man. So the one thing I will state is you are at 82 on the daily RSI, which is really, really high. You've gotten higher in the past, but you don't tend to stay up in these levels too long. So a pullback could be coming at any point here. I think this level makes the most sense up here at the 0.618. But yeah, I mean, Luna looks absolutely incredible, especially on the daily. I mean, just flying. Really nice to see. Really, really nice to see. Let me actually look at this real quick. Nah, not quite. All right, Bitcoin looking like it wants to take a little dip. Takes a little dip in the pool. Mark said, can you please check out B Pro? I'm trying to figure out what it looks like it's up to. Yeah, I know B Pro is going nuts the last couple days. We've been looking at B Pro like every day the last couple days because it's been going nuts. Yeah, man. I mean, just remember this thing's up. I mean, this thing went up about 417% in like 10 days, right? So just be careful. I mean, this one we were talking about, same thing with the bearish divergence. That didn't even play out on the daily. And you got as high as a 90 on the RSI. You've cooled off a little bit, so you do have a little bit room if you want to, but I think it's likely you got to pull back here. Let's go from top to bottom here on the fibs. It looks like we're right at the 236 right here. So we did get some rejection there on the 236. Let's take a look here. Golden pockets up there. I think I don't want to say that these coins need a pullback because we've been saying that for a while and they just keep kind of going up. I mean, you can see the divergence here on the RSI in the 4-hour. It's showing a slowed momentum, right? Higher highs, lower highs in the RSI. It's showing that you probably need to have a little bit of a pullback here, but at the same time, man, I mean, when all coins are this bullish, it's tough to say we're gonna have a pullback because a lot of times they do what they want to do. Kind of like Big Daddy BTC, as Ecoms would say. They're gonna do what they want to do, and they're gonna do it the best way that they want to do it. Right? It's a pretty big volume dip. Alt's gonna get crushed in a sec. They could. How's the Bitcoin dominance going here? The Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance. Dude, this thing looks like it's about to run. I mean, breaking this support. I mean, you could draw it like this, I guess. But I think this makes more sense with 4 touches on the bottom side. I think breaking this is super bullish for altcoins, man. Super bullish for alts. I mean, in theory, this should come back down to like 40%. That's going to be tough. I mean, Bitcoin's really hasn't stayed at 40% for too long before bouncing. So, I don't know. Will altcoins fly against Bitcoin here? Certainly a possibility. Something we've been looking at for a while now. But certainly could be a possibility when we talk about the possibility of this. Skyland said got a little dry powder ready to go. Oh man, always good to have some dry powder in case we get some dips. In case we get a little bit of dippage. Lupus said 11,212. Close as of a year ago today. Oh, so Bitcoin only did a 3.5x from a year ago. Sounds quite depressing. Sounds quite depressing. Sounds like something you should be super bearish about. Bitcoin up 3.5x from last year. That doesn't even include altcoins. I mean, you could say the same thing with Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum at the same point last year. I can't remember. I'm not going to go back and look. I'll go back and look in a second. But Bitcoin August of last year. Yeah, August of last year, we were down here at 11,000. So always remember where you are in the trend, right? Always remember where you are in the trend. Zoom out. Zooming out makes you look. It makes it. You may feel so much better when you zoom out, man. What's up, Tony? Bob will make an appearance. Actually, everyone else is went to the store. Bob's getting Mountain Dew. I'm not gonna say what Chris is getting. I was gonna say it, but I decided not to. Chris is getting something for the ladies at the store, and Jabba is getting some tissues for his tears. So they all kind of needed all that stuff. I'm not sure where Ken is. Ken hasn't been home the last like 2 days. Not really sure where Ken is. Maybe he went on vacation or something. He went on vacation. Guys, we can spam up those likes. Definitely helps out, push the stream out to more people. We've been live for what? About an hour now. Bitcoin's chilling like a villain. YouTube. That's a meme comment if I've ever seen one. YouTube said, I'm tired of watching TA streams, Jordan. I'm not getting rich. I'm thinking of starting a P&D crypto at this point. No other way to get Lambo in this crab market. Praying to keep good, but tempted. Patience, man. You're not going to get rich quick. If you want to get rich quick, all right, go to the casino. A lot of people have this misconception that crypto is like a casino. You can make it into a casino by investing. You're not really investing in low cap meme coins. You can make it into a casino, but if you want to do it the smart way, I mean, you're gonna invest and think long term with some of the higher cap altcoins and BTC, right? But you want to get rich quick, you're better off going to the casino, honestly. Because if it was so easy, if everyone could do it, everyone would be rich, right? Think about it from that perspective. If everyone could get rich with crypto, then why isn't everyone in this chat already rich? Tell me, right? Don't stop thinking so short term. If it was so easy, everyone would be rich. But everyone's not. Why? Because everyone doesn't have the patience. It's only the people that are patient or are lucky, right? So you can be one of two things. You could be patient or you could be lucky. Chances you're lucky is pretty slim, right? That's very, very slim amount of people that get into some project and 1,000 X's, right? The chances you get in one of those are very, very slim. And if you did get into one of those, you're probably not in the chat right now. You're probably doing something else. You're probably on a beach somewhere, right? Second, you can be patient and be a long-term investor, right? Those people, okay, for the most part, unless the people who just love crypto and love talking about crypto, right, are also somewhere on a beach. So stop trying to think of this as a short-term casino-like play and think about it as a long-term investment. This isn't a casino, right? I just spitting facts here. It's all kind-hearted, but it's facts. I know you're just kidding, Juta. I'm just spitting facts out here. Bitch, I'm a whale. Max said, I'm already rich. I just like to hang out with poor people to help me stay grounded. Yeah. I'm not saying anyone's not rich in the chat, right? There's probably a bunch of people with a lot of money that watch my streams, right? And I know they have a lot of money. There's actually some big whales that watch my stream, and they showed me their lifestyle, right? And a lot of them are people that held crypto for not even that long. They held crypto for, a lot of them held crypto for like a year, right? And since like the beginning of 2020, and it changed their life, right? So, but yeah, I mean, you guys can probably guess some of the whales that I don't necessarily know personally, but I've had talked to off stream, and they have showed me their lifestyle, and crazy, man. It's crazy what crypto can do for you when you think long term. I'm a casino guy. Crypto ain't a casino. That's facts. I'm a casino guy. Creighton said, can we look at the ultimate new coin, the coin that will change the world? Creighton, you're the best, man. But I will pine, even for you, Creighton, that's in here all the time. I'll have to say,
nope.
No meme coins. They're not going to change the world. They all say they're going to change the world. They're all going to donate 1% of their supply to charity. They're going to keep the other $1 billion and then donate 1% to charity. It's freaking ridiculous, man. Mars said people buy Shiba and then get wrecked. Look at Bob. No, a lot of people bought Shiba and made a lot of money. But what I will say about Shiba is, you know, if everyone made money off Shiba, everyone would be rich. For everyone that did make a lot of money off Shiba, there's probably just as many people as got wrecked from Shiba. So it all evens out in the end, right? Because you always need a seller for every buyer. You always need a buyer for every seller, in theory, right? So a lot of people made a lot of money off Shiba. A lot of people got wrecked off Shiba. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they buy near the top and they sell near the bottom, which kind of defeats the purpose of investing, right? You're not investing in something if you're FOMOing in, and then when the price goes down, you're panic selling. That's not investing. That's gambling, right? Slogan said, has super chatted $5. Thank you, Slogan. Thanks for the super sticker, man. He said, keep it up with the weights. That's what we do, man. I love that sticker, the one that's just like this. That one's the best. Let's see. All right, Bitcoin is chilling like a villain, boys and girls. Like it's chilling like it's never chilled before. Really. FPF, that's funny, man. I'm not gonna read that, but that's funny, dude. Is Hex a meme coin? I wouldn't say Hex is a meme coin. I mean, Hex has been around. I wouldn't say Hex is necessarily a meme coin. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't say Hex is a meme coin. Hex is centralized to one man's wallet. Sure, but I mean, Yeah, I guess that's true. Yes, that's true. Buy now, when sell, when moon. Who am I? When moon. What I always tell my friends and what I always tell my family is don't think long term, right? I always tell my family it's always a good time to invest in crypto, but you gotta hold it in there for 4 years. What I tell them is do not buy crypto if you're not okay with that money being gone, and you keep it in there for 4 years minimum. If you don't do with both of those qualities in there, if you think to yourself, I'm not going to hold it for 4 years, I'm going to need this money before 4 years, or you're thinking I can't lose all this money, I need this money to pay bills, then you shouldn't be in crypto. Okay, you probably should figure out the rest of your life first before you get into crypto. But if you fit those two qualifiers, you can hold it for 4 years and you're not afraid of all of it being gone, chances are you will be up substantially, right? That's what I tell my family. Yeah, definitely double. DeBulb said, "Sup, Jordan? Tuning in lakeside on vacation. Make sure BTC doesn't crash before I return. A week off was far overdue for me. I just wanted to throw you some love. Thank you, DeBulb. Appreciate it, man. I'm actually going on vacation August 24th to August 31st, so I'll be gone for a week too. I'm quite sad about it. Last time I went on vacation, it was only for like 3 or 4 days, and I was really, really sad, man. Really, really sad. After like 2 days. I probably won't be sad. I'll probably be sad after 5 days this time. But a vacation's definitely needed for me as well. Definitely needed. Crypto is the same as socks, Huddle. BGC crashes when Jordan leaves. Facts. Nathaniel said Link or Aave, longer-ish term. Link or Aave? Man, you know I'm biased towards Link. I actually, hold on, let me look up something here real quick. I mean, Chainlink, Aave. Where's Aave? Dude, I mean, it depends what you're looking at. So, Chainlink, I don't think will be going anywhere, right? I think Chainlink's one of the coins that I think will last the test of time, just because everything uses Chainlink. Not everything, but you get the general point. I mean, Chainlink is needed to be used, right? So I think Chainlink lasts less of time. Now, what I will say is I think it has less upside returns. So it all depends on your risk tolerance, right? I think Aave, so Aave is at about a $4 billion market cap. Chainlink's at about a 10.5, right? So Aave, I think in theory would have higher potential upside potential, but also has higher downside potential. So it all depends on your risk tolerance, right? I like investing in coins that I you'll never know what's going to be here long term, but Chainlink's one of the ones I'm pretty confident will be in here long term. So I'm more of a safe investor when it comes to my crypto portfolio. I do hold some low caps, just for who doesn't hold some low caps just for the moon potential. But I would do Chainlink just because that's how I feel about that, because I'm thinking long term down the road. Aave, I definitely love Aave as a project, though. I love the whole DeFi space. I think Aave has higher upside potential, like I said, but it depends on what time frame you're looking at. Short term, I would probably say Aave has more potential upside, because I think DeFi is really going to be killing it short term. That's just my opinion. Let's see. What's up, Christine? Hayne said if you had an extra 50K, dollar cost average or full dump into Bitcoin. Man, I actually, someone asked me this question the other day. If I was just starting crypto right now, right, I didn't have anything invested, and I had $50,000, okay? That's really a tough question. So this is actually a really tough question for a lot of people to ask because um, it's interesting. So if you're just getting into crypto now, right? You didn't own anything beforehand. So you haven't bought lower, you haven't bought higher, you're fresh, but you still knew everything you did now, right? What would I do? Would I buy all 50K right now? Or would I dollar cost average in, but would I try to dollar cost average in? It's a tough question, man. It's a tough question. The hodler in me would make me just want to buy everything now, set it and forget it, lock it up, throw the key away, do whatever I want to do, right? Go on with life and just hodl. That's the hodler in me. The realist in me still realizes that some downside is still potentially there. But do I want to risk? I don't know. To me, where I believe crypto's going, for me, and buying right now versus buying 2 weeks from now at a slightly lower price, I guess doesn't really affect me at all. So, I don't know. You do what you want to do, man. This is not financial advice. I would probably just throw everything right now, set it and forget it. If it goes lower, I don't really care. It is what it is. But that's probably what I would personally do, man. That's probably what I would personally do. Just because I'm not the type of person that's try to time the bottom, man. I mean, no one can time the bottom. No one knows when the bottom's going to come. No one. No one knows when the dips are going to happen. No one knows when the dips are going to end. Set it and forget it. Throw the key away. Look at it in 4 years. You'll probably be up a substantial amount just based off history. What's up, Crane? If you could only pick off these to hold, Sol or ADA. I mean, ADA and Sol guys love each other. The ADA and Sol guys love each other. If you could pick one of these to hold. Well, I own ADA and I don't own Sol. Doesn't mean I don't like Sol. I've actually been thinking about scooping up some Sol because I've been doing more research into it and I actually really like the project. So I've been thinking about getting some Sol myself. But as of right now, I mean, ADA is my third biggest holding and I don't own any Sol. So I guess I have to say ADA. Though I do really like Sol, actually, too. You can't go wrong with either one. You really can't. ADA's more, I'm not gonna say upside potential, but you know, if they deliver on what they want to deliver on, they could nail it. But I guess you'd say the same thing for Solana, right? Maybe upset though if you drop 50K and the price 20-50% a week later. Better than DCA. Yeah, it's definitely true. I mean, I'm going against my advice of dollar cost averaging. I'm just saying if I haven't got into the crypto market yet and I just wanted to enter, for me personally, I'm not worried about the price fluctuations short term, whether it's weekly, monthly. I don't really care about the price fluctuations. It really doesn't affect me at all. Yeah, I'm kind of tempered my emotions in that way where, you know, I'm kind of oblivious to short-term price action, really, just because I know where Bitcoin goes over the long term. So to me, I'd rather just throw it in there, set it, forget it, and not worry about it. That's just me, though. That's just me. Everyone has their own, I guess, what you might call it, their own way of doing things, I guess you should say. Their own way of doing things. I'm having a good time hanging out right now. Usually these morning streams we go a little bit shorter, but I'm having a good time right now, so I'm gonna continue to hang out because I want to see I want to see Bitcoin break out of this friggin' wedge on stream too, which it's kind of pissing me off right now. We know usually these patterns, guys, they usually break out. You know, I would probably say. Usually speaking, they usually break out before 75% of the way through. I mean, I think it's pretty clear we're, you know, past 75% of the way through here, in general. So, I don't know. We'll find out. MC said you never watch your portfolio. I check it. I'm not going to say I don't check it. But to me, the price, the fluctuations in my portfolio really doesn't matter, man. Doesn't really matter. But you also have to remember, I mean, having no emotions also has a lot to do with, you know, buying crypto at low prices, right? So a lot of the crypto I bought was at low prices. So that's also another reason why it's easier for me to not to really worry about it. I guess it's and that's what sometimes like people even like, you know, people that always want to preach hodling and stuff. That's where sometimes that we forget. I understand a lot of times it's tough for people, especially people that bought up at 50K, 60K, to try to be a little bit less emotional about their portfolio. I totally understand that. I've been there before. Um, I've panic sold plenty of times in my lifetime. And every single time I regret doing it because I would have been way better if I didn't panic sell a lot of those coins. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot, definitely a lot easier to hodl when when you buy at a price lower than the current price. So I totally understand that. A lot of people that bought, you know, in April, May, and June, April and May of this year, especially for altcoins, are probably really struggling right now, and I definitely understand that. I'm definitely not oblivious to that, so I get it. I get it. It's tough. Tough for you guys. What I'll have to say is think long term, though. Even if your portfolio is probably down 50, 60, 70% right now, if you bought them, if you just got into crypto in April and May and are still holding right now, what I will say is, like we said earlier, never invest in crypto if you're not okay with your money going to zero. That's what I'll say, because sometimes in crypto your account will go down 95%. Your account will go down 95%. And you'll be sitting there like, what the heck did I just do? What did I just get myself into? But if you hold it out for a couple of years, what I'll always say is eventually your portfolio will get back into the positive, and then your portfolio will be substantially higher based off history. It's not a full gone 100 proof science, right? But I'm just basing it off the last 11 years of crypto. So 88. Me, I watch every day, but bought at the top, and now I am 50% down, but I won't panic sell. MC, like I said, there's no problem with panic selling if you need the money. If you need the money to pay bills, I mean, life comes first, right? This is just crypto. I mean, life comes first, obviously. Pratish said, "Why are you ignoring me?" Pratish, I'm not really ignoring you, my man. I'm not ignoring you, dude. I don't even know what you said. But, yeah, dude. What's up, Bullet? Hope you're doing good, my man. We're chilling, just kind of talking about BTC, long-term BTC. I mean, in theory, we're so glued to this. We're so glued to this chart. Where like, what I'll always tell people, if it was exciting to watch the weekly chart, this is what we would watch, right? And what I always like to compare it to is, if this was not a weekly chart and this was an hourly chart, people would be super bullish and wouldn't sell their crypto, right? If this was the hourly chart. But instead, you know, everyone has kind of short-term mind frames. So, you know, we look at this as sort of an unreachable task that we can't hold out this long, right? Life's too short. We can't hold out this long. You'd be surprised how quickly time goes by. You really will. You really will be surprised how quickly time goes by. But yeah, just imagine if this was an hourly chart and not a weekly chart. You'd be screaming, "Oh, we're going to the moon," right? It's all about time preference. 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 24 million%. 24.5 million% gains for Bitcoin in its lifetime. It's all about time preference. Think long term, man. Bear said, "Yeah, I learned a hard lesson. I'm diamond hands now." Yeah. What's up, Dust? I have sold anything this year at all. Just stacking for the top. Yeah. And they always want to. I always want to say that hodling and dollar cost averaging is not for anyone. If you're someone that doesn't have a hodl stack and you're purely just a swing trader, do you, man. If that's successful for you, do what's ever successful for you. I just preach what, you know, what's successful for me. What's successful for me is buying the dips and hodling, not looking necessarily at my portfolio as sort of, is it up or is it down based off US dollar, but is my portfolio the amount of each crypto do I want? Do I have the amount of Bitcoin that I want? Do I have the amount of Ethereum that I want as far as Ethereum goes? Do I have the amount of Cardano that I want? And not so much of what's the price USD value of my Bitcoin? What's the price USD value of my Ethereum? When you flip your thinking into how much crypto can I stack coins wise, right? So do I have 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin? Or you're thinking of it as, oh, my Bitcoin is worth X amount. It makes you think about things in different perspective, right? I know we're kind of talking about stuff like kind of off the rails here, but you get the general sentiment. We're kind of just speaking in terms here. Everyone was waiting for 100K. See it top out at 99,769.8 this cycle. Chave, that's very, very in particular, man. What I've been looking at the tops of the cycle, we haven't looked at it in a while. There's multiple indicators I look at as the top. Let's actually do that. It sounds kind of fun. Let's look at the possible top. So, you know, obviously if we continue up here in this cycle, which obviously not everyone agrees with, but if we were to, let's take our 2017 to our bear market low, and I think we hit pretty much all the targets. Not all of them, but we have the 4236. So you can see actually what's interesting is here we tapped the 3.618 Fibonacci, which is very, very interesting. You can see here the 3.618 Fib, we tapped that perfectly at 65K. Like that was perfect. And you can see now there's not really any support here. Like people say, oh, why are we having support here? It's kind of blank space looking left. The 1.618 Fibonacci, that's where we've gotten support here on the weekly. So these Fibonacci levels are perfect. And also, what's very interesting too, look at this, the 2.618 Fibonacci, okay, was support throughout this area before we dipped. So these Fibonacci levels are perfect sort of support and resistance levels looking left. Now, if we were to take it, you know, if Bitcoin does continue back up here, right, in theory, the 4236, just for fun here, would be at right about 75K. So that might be sort of a level to watch out for if we do continue up, because that is the Fibonacci level there. So we'll see what happens there. Definitely could be interesting as far as that goes. We also could look at our log curve. I also want to look at from this swing low. And then just take a look at some of the levels we could be looking at here. It's about 89, 87,000, 124,000, 160,000, and 100. Obviously, this is looking to the future, right? Obviously, we have a lot of work to do to get to these things, but just something interesting to look at. The other thing we can look at is our log curves. See what this is telling us right now. From our where we are right now, if we went straight up today, we'd be looking at a price of about 129,000 if we were to continue up. And as we know, the longer it takes us to hit that top, right, in theory, the higher the Bitcoin price would go on the Bitcoin log curve chart. So saying about 129,000 here, you know, if we were to top out towards the end of this year, saying like 160,000 or so, if we were to top out in the middle of next year, like a lot of people are talking about now, it's saying like close to 200,000. So it all depends on where we kind of top out of the cycle, but a lot of different ways you can look at it. just for fun, right? 37,987 right now for BTC, boys.
Everybody panic. We're going to zero.
Fettuccine. Fact. I hope all you have a great day. Jordino, thank you for... I said Jordino. Not Jordino, you knew. Gorgonita. He said, hi all, hope you have a great day. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you have an awesome day too, man. Thank you for being positive in the chat. What's the Viking character's name? The Viking character. He is a special character. It only comes out sometimes. He is actually not part of the family. His name is Vikinu Inu. Vikinu Inu. Man, Bitcoin. Can you decide what you want to do here, brother? Please. Great. We're all just waiting to see what you do out of this wedge, man. That's all we're waiting for short term here. For all us chart addicts. We're all chart addicts in here. Viking character. Viking. Viking Inu. All right, let's... What else should we look at here? What else should we look at here, guys? I mean, we looked at the long-term stuff for BTC. I guess we could check out where are some of our... Where's our, you know, our technical bear market bottom? So we know for Bitcoin, right? What's usually the technical bear market bottom is the 200 simple moving average for BTC. Let's check out where that is right now. Make this a little bit bigger for you guys so you guys can see the generosity here. So, you know, if we were in a potential bear market, which you can never rule out at the end of the day, but, you know, if you look at this some sort of thing, you know, we usually bottom out right at the 200 simple moving average based off every dip we've had for Bitcoin, at least the history that we have, right? 2015 low, 2018 low, and the 2020 low. That's where we close on the weekly. Right now, it's sitting at 14,340. So it's moving up slowly but surely here. Every week that goes by, this is obviously going to get higher and higher and higher. What I will say about this is, from a sort of level perspective, it does make a lot of sense. You know, if this was to happen, it does make a lot of sense as far as a level of a bounce, right? Our previous high from 2019. I don't think this is likely. Obviously, you guys know my point of view on this. I don't think this is necessarily likely, but, you know, if this was to, for whatever reason, we came up, dead cat bounce, you know, made our way down here, I think eventually, you know, bouncing off this level is what we normally usually do for BTC. Obviously, we're not going to drop down there this week. So this is a moving average. This moves up every week. So this is going to get higher and higher and higher and higher until eventually we bounce off. You can see in history, I mean, we bounce off this almost perfectly every time. So, like I said, that's at 14,340 right now. It looks like it moves up on average about 200 a week or so. So we'll see, about 1,000 a month, something like that. So definitely always something to look at, kind of where that is. Carmelo headed to the Lakers. Nice. Nice, dude. Carmelo headed to the Lakers. Is Bob going to vacation with you, or he'll be streaming while you're offline? Bob is coming on vacation, and Chris is coming on vacation. Jabba's not coming. He's too obsessed with shorting, and he said he think this is like the peak shorting season for Bitcoin, so he can't be away from his computer. So Jabba will be home. He doesn't know how to live stream, so he won't be live streaming. But me, Chris, and Bob will be down in vacation, which would be super fun. Super fun. But I can't wait, man. Should be a good time. Should be a really good time. All right, you guys got any cool stuff? What cool stuff we've talked about? I think we've talked about a lot of stuff today. I think we've talked about every single thing we could possibly talk about today. Literally, in like an hour and a half, which is kind of impressive. Like when you really sum it up, I think we talked about everything. Monthly, real quick on the monthly chart. Check out how we're doing on there on the let's check out the 11-month moving average. You guys know I'm a fan of the 11-month moving average. Let me get rid of the blue one here. So the 11-month moving average, the green moving average there. We're holding it as of right now. I want to hold this. This is the sort of the moving average this is the true moving average we never break in a bull market. Even in 2013, this is one of the only ones you can find that we truly don't break in a bull market. And we bounce off of. 2013, we bounced off of it actually twice here, right? 2017, we bounced off of it only once down here, but still, you know, generally speaking, we always stayed above it. We bounced off of it here. We broke it. That was the start. Bounced off it here, right? We broke it. That was the start. And, you know, once we broke it here, obviously that was the start of the bear market too, or the mini bear market we had in 2019. We're holding that right now. Can we hold it this month, right? Obviously, we know it's August. A lot of people are stating and expecting a giant August, which we'll need, right? So far, August, it's only been 3 days, but so far it's been a red one from about 42,000 down to 38,000. So we got some work to do here, but as long as we hold this on a close, right now it's at 37,200. You know, as long as we hold above 37,200, I'm okay here on the monthly chart. I don't want to close below that. You can see we actually wicked below it here in June, here in July. We wicked below it, but we both months we ended up closing above it. So it is what it is. Even if we wick below it at some point in August, like we come back down to 36,000, we wick below it. As long as we close above that, it is what it is, just like the last 2 months at the end of the day. Now, if we close below that, all right, you know, it's one of those things that based off history, you got to give it to it that, you know, when you get that first close below it, it's usually not a good sign for Bitcoin. So we'll watch that. This is more of a longer term type thing that I like to look at. But nonetheless, it is something to look at. But yeah, that's really that. And the stock RSI, just real quick on the stock RSI in the monthly, looks like it's bottomed out and is starting to curl back upwards, or at least try to curl back upwards. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. It did that in 2017 as well. You can see right here, it bottomed out at this area, right here, and we stayed down here for over a year, right? So doesn't necessarily have to mean you're necessarily going to bounce, but you know, it is something to look forwards to, I guess. And same thing in this bear market. I mean, we stayed down here for months. Doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. So in case anyone's looking at that, at the monthly chart, not sure how many people look at the monthly chart, but I like to look at it every here and there. We need another Elon tweet. That would be pretty helpful. We would. Hey, what? Twin Shiba? What is Twin Shiba, guys? Is that legit? Twin Shiba? I don't know if that's like a legit thing. All right, Bitcoin chill. I'll do a check on Ethereum, and I'll probably call it a stream here because I got some stuff I need to get done today anyways, but I wanted to stay on for the breakout of this wedge. It doesn't seem like Bitcoin wants to do it just yet. So maybe we'll get the breakout tonight, which I guess won't be the end of the world. Check on Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum's not really doing too much right now. Same kind of thing, just kind of chilling like a villain, I like to say. But all right, guys, I'm gonna call it a stream. As always, hit that like button before you go. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. You should follow those links in the description. Appreciate you guys hanging out. A little bit longer stream today. I was feeling it. I was feeling like hanging out, and I just like hanging out with you guys and talking crypto. I mean, that's what I do a lot of the day, most of the days anyway. So love hanging out with you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for like an hour and a half today, talking nonsense. We just went on a little philosophy and things like that today. So we'll be back tonight between 7 and 10 Eastern Standard Time PM. So make sure you guys don't miss out on tonight's stream. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll catch you all. Make sure you guys have a fantastic day. Do something today that you enjoy doing. Don't be, so monotonous every day. Make sure you guys are doing at least one thing every day that you enjoy doing. Seriously. But I'll catch you guys later. Have a good day, guys. Peace.